Welcome to Review Time with Tim. Today, I'm going to be bringing you a review on the PowerA wireless Nintendo Switch controller. This is a 6-month review on this product. As always, subscribe to my channel, smash the likes, comments below, and let's get into today's PowerA Nintendo Switch controller review. About 6 months ago, I was in the market for a new wireless controller for the Nintendo Switch. After I had been playing with these junky, cheap Pokemon controllers that it fell apart really quickly. Quality on these was very poor so far. Now, so having to replace those, I decided, all right, I'm going to go with one of these. There was no other option in the store for any other controller other than PowerA, which I was a little like, ugh, just because of the Pokemon controllers were so bad. But so far, for the past 6 months, this controller has been holding up pretty well for the most part. We'll talk about that. And there's the inside. And as we can see, it's Pro Style. Pro Style. All right. So here's the actual controller itself. It does have a nice texture on this side, although it does leave the fingerprints. It's got the chrome plus button. It's pretty tactile, as we can hear. So you get a lot of click out of that. The buttons respond pretty nicely here. I haven't had any issues with buttons sticking or anything like that. There's been no drifting on this controller compared to the other PowerA controllers I've had for the Nintendo Switch. The biggest difference with this one versus those was the Pokemon ones were battery powered, so I had to put batteries in it. This one is a chargeable one, right? So there's the charging port right there. I think the making this a rechargeable one, I feel like the quality on this is much better than the battery-powered ones. I mean, you can even feel the type of plastic, comparing these two, okay? The back of this plastic has a better feel to it than this plastic. This plastic is very chintzy feeling. It just feels really thin. This one definitely has a little bit more to it. Just has a better overall solid feel versus these ones. It really does. It really does. My biggest complaint so far for the past 6 months is that it does, if your hands are a little oily or whatever, it does leave a mark, and you do definitely have to clean off the controller more frequently, but you should be cleaning your controllers anyway, just because they do get pretty grimy. But yeah, it synced up with my Switch, no problems whatsoever. It was really quick, super easy, and I do like, it's a little bit, like I said, it's got the internal battery to recharge, so it does have a little bit more weight to it, very more similar to like an Xbox controller. And like I said, this does fit nicely in your hands, so when you're playing your various games, to me, it makes all the difference versus the Nintendo Switch tiny little controller. I like it, but I don't like those tiny little Joy-Cons that come with it. They just don't do it for me. I want something like this if I'm going to be playing my video games. So this is great. What would I rate this today? I'm not going to give any packaging score. I'm not going to give, because right now we're only 6 months in. Maybe 6 months from now, I might have to do a follow-up review. But right now, if I'm just basing the overall quality and how this works on the Nintendo currently for the past 6 months, I'm going to go with a 10 out of 10 right now because there's been no issues, no problems whatsoever with this controller right now. But 6 months from now, that could be a whole new story, or at least I should say a year from now, this could be a whole different story, and I might be retracting that 10 out of 10, being like, oh yeah, after I made this video a month later, you know, things started to not go so well with it. But so for right now, it's getting a 10 out of 10. This is probably one of the better aftermarket ones that you can buy for the Nintendo Switch that is not the Nintendo brand per se. And it was coming in at, I think I spent around $50, I think, for this. Maybe $39.99, $49.99. Not 100% sure, but every place you're gonna look, you're gonna find a different price. Amazon, Walmart, GameStop, local game stores, you know, wherever, they're all gonna have a slightly different price. But I think that's the kind of price point you're gonna be looking at, anywhere between $39.99 to $49.99. for this controller. But if you need one, I would pick one up because they definitely help with the Nintendo Switch. And it also says it works with the Switch Lite, which is already like, it's like a Game Boy or whatever, DS already. So it'd be weird to me to put that down and then be playing on such a tiny screen. I don't know if I would want that. But yeah. So not a bad product so far. We'll check in another 6 months for a quick update and see if this is still going to give that a super 10 out of 10 perfect score so far for this little cheap electronic device.